iPhone 16 Pro Max vs Galaxy S25 Ultra, which wins in real-world use? Every year, Apple and Samsung drop their flagship phones into the arena, sparking endless debates about which one comes out on top. The iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Galaxy S25 Ultra represent the very best each company has to offer, from cutting-edge chipsets to jaw-dropping displays and AI-powered features. But here's the thing, spec sheets only tell part of the story. In real life, people don't use their phones in controlled labs. They use them in the chaos of daily life, on commutes, in bad lighting, when their hands are full, or when they have 4% battery left and need a photo now. That's where the difference between a good phone and a great phone really shows. So instead of just comparing numbers and buzzwords, let's dive into how these two titans perform where it really counts, in your hand, in your pocket, and in your life. Design and build, premium looks, everyday comfort. Both the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Galaxy S25 Ultra scream premium the moment you hold them, but they take very different approaches to get there. The iPhone 16 Pro Max retains its sleek, minimalist aesthetic with polished titanium edges, giving it a lighter feel than older steel iPhones. Despite its large footprint, Apple's subtle curve refinements make it more comfortable to hold than you'd expect for a 6.9-inch device. It's still a bit blocky, though, and anyone with smaller hands might feel the strain during long sessions. On the other hand, the Galaxy S25 Ultra opts for Samsung's durable armor aluminum frame and slightly curved edges that make it nestle into the hand better than its angular look might suggest. It's just a hair lighter than the iPhone, but the weight distribution feels more balanced, especially for one-handed use. When it comes to display, it's hard to pick a loser. The S25 Ultra's 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X panel offers slightly higher brightness and more aggressive refresh rate adaptation, up to 144 Hz, which gives it a bit more fluidity, especially when scrolling through social feeds or gaming. That said, the iPhone Super Retina XDR OLED, now brighter than ever outdoors, remains one of the most color-accurate displays you'll find. HDR content pops, and in direct sunlight, it's easier than ever to read without cranking the brightness to max. One real-world note, Samsung's larger curved screen can lead to occasional accidental touches, whereas Apple's flatter panel avoids that issue entirely. If you're someone who texts with one hand or often uses your phone without a case, that might matter more than you'd think. Performance and software experience, speed, smarts, and smoothness. Under the hood, both the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Galaxy S25 Ultra are absolute beasts, but raw power isn't the whole story. It's how that power is delivered in day-to-day use that separates a smooth experience from a frustrating one. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, powered by Apple's A18 Pro chip, is blazing fast not just in benchmarks, but in everyday moments, snapping a photo, switching between apps, loading large files, or even exporting a 4K video. iOS 18 is also more fluid than ever, with improved animations, haptic feedback, and better multitasking gestures, especially on the large display. Samsung's Galaxy S25 Ultra counters with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, or Exynos 2500 in some regions, paired with a massive 12GB of RAM. One UI 7 on top of Android 15 feels smoother and more cohesive than past versions, and multitasking is a dream. Split-screen apps, pop-up windows, and background tasks all run with minimal lag or reloads. If you're the type to bounce between a dozen apps, the S25 Ultra's RAM management and flexibility give it a real edge. Then there's the AI factor. iOS 18 brings Apple Intelligence, offering on-device summarization, smarter Siri, and context-aware features that feel more native and privacy-focused. It's useful, but not flashy, think quietly helpful. Samsung, however, leans in with Galaxy AI, which is more front-facing, real-time translation during calls, AI-assisted photo editing, note summarization, and generative wallpaper. While not always seamless, it feels more ambitious and in many cases, more immediately useful. Voice assistants remain split. Siri has made progress but still trails behind Google Assistant, which remains smarter and more flexible on the S25 Ultra, especially for web-based tasks, contextual follow-ups, and smart home control. As for ecosystem integration, iPhone 16 Pro Max's unbeatable AirDrop, iMessage, FaceTime, Continuity, and iCloud all work without friction. Samsung's ecosystem, especially when paired with a Galaxy Watch or Tab, is solid too, but Android's openness also means it doesn't feel quite as tight as Apple's walled garden, for better or worse. Camera comparison, real-world shots, not spec sheet hype. Both the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Galaxy S25 Ultra bring powerhouse camera setups, and in typical flagship fashion, they're packed with tech. But when you're out in the world trying to capture a quick moment or shoot a reel for Instagram, it's the real-world performance that matters. The iPhone 16 Pro Max sports a triple lens setup, a 48MP main sensor, ultra-wide, and an upgraded 5x tetraprism telephoto lens. Apple leans heavily into computational photography, and it shows. Photos in daylight are incredibly consistent, rich in color, high in dynamic range, and rarely need editing. Low-light shots have improved thanks to new image pipeline optimizations and larger sensors, delivering less noise and more accurate skin tones. The Galaxy S25 Ultra, with its quad-camera system, still leads on zoom. It includes a 200MP main sensor, ultra-wide, and two telephoto lenses, 3x and 10x, giving it unmatched flexibility in framing shots. Daylight photos are punchier, more saturated, the typical Samsung style. Some people love that pop, others may prefer Apple's more neutral tones. In low light, Samsung closes the gap with stronger noise reduction and better light capture, though some shots can still feel a bit too processed. When it comes to video, Apple still takes the crown. The 16 Pro Max offers stunning 4K video at multiple frame rates, with unbeatable stabilization, reliable autofocus, and rich detail. Whether you're filming your kid's soccer game or a cinematic travel vlog, it just works. Samsung's video quality is great, but stabilization can feel less natural at times, and dynamic range doesn't match Apple's, especially in mixed lighting. Speed and reliability matter, too. The iPhone's camera app is fast, intuitive, and incredibly responsive. You can pull it out, snap, and be confident you got the shot. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is fast as well, but there's a slight delay in processing when switching lenses or shooting in certain modes. It's not a deal-breaker, but in those spontaneous moments, the iPhone's 18 Pro chip and iOS 18's improved background management, the phone comfortably lasts a full day and then some for most users. In real-world use, it easily handles 7 to 8 hours of screen-on time, with minimal idle drain overnight. Even under heavy use, think constant camera use, 5G streaming, GPS navigation, it rarely hits red before bedtime. The Galaxy S25 Ultra comes packed with a large 5000 mAh battery, and it performs impressively too. Android 15 and One UI 7 do a better job than past versions with background app control and power optimization. You can expect 6.5 to 8 hours of screen-on time, depending on whether you're using AI features or running the display at full 144Hz refresh rate. However, the S25 Ultra can burn through battery slightly faster in demanding scenarios like gaming or extended video recording. Charging speed is where Samsung takes the lead. The S25 Ultra supports 45W wired charging and up to 15W wireless, topping off from 0 to 100% in under an hour with a compatible charger. Apple, on the other hand, is still limited to 27W wired and 15W MagSafe wireless charging, slower, but more consistent in terms of heat and battery longevity. Speaking of heat, Samsung's fast charging gets warm, especially when using third-party chargers, while the iPhone stays cooler, likely due to its slower charge rate and tighter thermal control. As for battery health over time, iPhones have a better track record. Apple's battery health feature lets you track capacity, and most users report around 90 to 93% health after a year of daily use. Samsung phones can degrade slightly faster, especially if fast charging is used constantly, although the S25 Ultra now includes smarter charge protection features that slow charging overnight or when not needed. Bottom line, if you want fast top-ups, go with Samsung. If you care more about long-term battery health and consistent endurance, the iPhone 16 Pro Max might serve you better over time. Final verdict: which phone wins in the real world? After days of real-world testing, it's clear that both the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Galaxy S25 Ultra are phenomenal devices. But they shine in different ways, depending on what you value most. The iPhone 16 Pro Max delivers a polished, consistent experience. Its camera is fast and reliable, the performance is incredibly smooth, battery life is dependable, and the integration with the Apple ecosystem is unmatched. If you live in Apple's world, Mac, iPad, Apple, slightly less consistency, especially with the camera software and battery performance under heavy load. And a less cohesive ecosystem unless you go all in on Samsung gear. Who wins? If you're someone who wants reliability, polished design, and longevity, the iPhone 16 Pro Max edges out as the better everyday device for most users. If you're a power user, creative, or multitasker who loves customization, pro features, and Android flexibility, the Galaxy S25 Ultra is your tool of choice. In the end, the best phone isn't the one with the most features, it's the one that fits your life best. And in 2025, we're lucky to have two incredible options that both raise the bar.